Cheese may not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of blood sugar management, but for individuals with diabetes, or anyone trying to avoid the dreaded post-meal energy crash, it deserves serious attention. While sugary snacks and high glycemic carbs wreak havoc on glucose levels, cheese does the exact opposite. It has a low glycemic index, virtually no carbohydrates, and a nutrient profile that actually works in favor of stabilizing blood sugar, especially when paired strategically with carbohydrate-containing foods. In a world of glucose spikes and insulin resistance, cheese quietly offers metabolic backup without any need for flashy labels or complicated diet plans. What makes cheese so blood sugar friendly? For starters, its macronutrient makeup is ideal. It's rich in protein and fat, and very low in sugar and digestible carbs. This means it doesn't cause a rapid rise in blood glucose when eaten on its own. But where cheese really shines is in how it influences the glycemic response of other foods. When you pair cheese with a higher carb item, like bread, fruit, or pasta, it helps slow the digestion and absorption of those carbohydrates. The result? A more gradual, controlled rise in blood sugar rather than a dramatic spike and crash. It's like putting a speed bump in front of a runaway glucose train. This effect has real implications for people with type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, or insulin resistance. Slower glucose absorption means less insulin is needed at once, which can reduce strain on the pancreas and support more stable energy levels throughout the day. In fact, several studies have shown that adding dairy products like cheese to meals may improve postprandial glycemic response and even reduce the risk of developing type 2 diabetes when part of a balanced diet. Cheese also brings other metabolic perks to the table. It's a good source of magnesium and calcium, minerals that play roles in insulin signaling and glucose metabolism. Some cheeses, especially fermented varieties, may also provide small amounts of vitamin K2 and beneficial bacteria, which have emerging links to improved insulin sensitivity and reduced inflammation, two key factors in diabetes management. And because cheese promotes satiety, it can help prevent overeating and reduce the likelihood of reaching for high-sugar snacks later on. Of course, balance still matters. Cheese should be enjoyed as part of an overall nutrient-dense, fiber-rich diet, not as an excuse to pile on saturated fat with abandon. But when eaten in moderation, think a slice of cheese with apple slices or melted on top of whole grain toast. It becomes a practical and effective tool for blood sugar control. So rather than fearing cheese or writing it off as a dietary indulgence, it's time to recognize it for what it really is: a smart, low-glycemic, blood sugar stabilizing addition to the diabetic toolkit. No crash, no spike, just slow, steady energy and nutrients that work with your body instead of against it. And it tastes a lot better than a rice cake.